So our objective for today, remember that's our goal, it says I can find the difference between living and non-living things. I know I have it when I can talk about their needs. So who can raise their hand and repeat back to me? What is our goal for today? What do we want to be able to do by the end of today? Jackson.
Remembering what is non-living and living.
We want to know the difference between living and non-living things. Awesome job. All right, let's go ahead and turn and face the smartboard. So let's go ahead and see if we can remember what makes something living and what makes something non-living. So we're going to go ahead and look at some pictures, and we're going to see if it's living or non-living. So if it's living, I want you to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. We are not shouting living. You're just giving me a thumbs up, okay? If it's non-living, I want you to give me a thumbs down. It's not living, okay? Make sure everybody needs to choose. So it's either thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't want anybody looking around waiting for their friends to choose living or non-living. You have to think for yourself, okay? All right, let's go. Living or non-living? Everybody needs to vote, Natalie. What do you think? Living or non-living? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, let's see. I'm seeing mostly non-living. So I have a picture of a mountain, and I'm going to put it on the non-living side. So that's what you guys have said. Let's see what the next one is.
Living.
Oh, we're not shouting. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Living, non-living. Let me see. I see mostly living. All right. So I'm going to put it on the living side.
Cool.
All right. Let's see. Ooh, what do we think? I'm seeing mostly living. All right. Put it on the living side. What we've talked about. Let's see. I see a lot of non-living. I see some of you who are doing like this. I guess that means you're not sure. Remember, either thumbs up or thumbs down. So I see mostly non-living. What do we think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Living, non-living. You think it's living? All right, let's see.
I think it is.
Put it on the living side. All right, what do we think? Ooh, tricky. Living, non-living. Oh, a lot of us say it's non-living. Okay.
This is it's living. It's tree branches.
Oh, that's interesting that you say that, Grayson. What makes you think that it's living?
Because those are tree branches, and tree branches look like flat.
They do look like tree branches. Okay.
But
Why? Okay, so why do you think that it's non-living, Jackson?
Because they're not in the ground.
So they're not in the ground anymore, so that means that they're non-living? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about this a little bit later and see what we think later, okay? What do we think? What do we think? Living, non-living?
I think both.
I think living. Let's see. Okay, wait. Hold it up or down. Let me see. I need to count.
No, it's not. You don't need it.
Okay, I see mostly non-living. So I'm going to put down non-living for right now. Oh, wait. Alright. What do we think?
The water? I don't know. Is this the water?
Let's see. Let me count. If you don't know, put it to the side like this.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of looks
And if you think, if you know for sure, hold it up like this or like this.
It kind of looks like grass.
So most of us don't know. So most of us are doing this.
Oh yeah, no.
So let me see. I'm gonna put it in the middle because we're not sure. We can talk about this later.
Yeah, talk about it later. Yeah, we don't know.
Why don't you know, Joshua, whether it's living or non-living?
I think.
How do you know if something is living?
I think it's water. Well, that doesn't kind of look like water to me. It's not water at all. It's grass.
It is water. So this is an ocean. Okay. So
maybe it is living.
why do you think it's living?
Because it's water.
Okay.
Or maybe it's non-living.
Well, how do we? Okay, who thinks it's non-living? Raise your hand. Jackson, why do you think it's non-living?
Because it doesn't need soil.
It doesn't need soil. It doesn't need food. Okay. All right. Those are good points. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. All right. What do we think? What do you think about
That is a volcano. That's a volcano. I do not like living.
I'm seeing mostly non-living. So we're gonna
Lava's living.
Oh, that's not lava.
All right. Don't worry about it because we're going to talk about it in a little bit, and I'll let you know what if it's living or non-living. So now let's go ahead and listen. All right. I'm gonna put you guys into groups, and we're gonna play a little bit of a game. And you're gonna be with a partner. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look around the room and find. Oh wait. We're gonna find living and non-living things. So I brought some more things in the classroom just so we have some more things to look at. We've got some bugs in here, so I'm gonna leave it right here. Do not touch this, okay? You can look with your eyes. Don't sniff really close. You can come about this close, but don't touch it. Don't move it around. I don't want the bugs to get out, okay? I've also got a flower, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. Just the same thing. We're not touching it. We're not smelling it. You can smell it like this. Remember in science we learned to waft, but we should not be touching it. But we can be about this close, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna get you off into partners. And when I say go, you're going to go to a living or non-living thing in the room with your partner. And when you get to it, you have to talk with your partner. I know that this is living because, and you tell them why. You have to agree that that thing is living, or you have to agree that that thing is non-living, okay? So listen for your partner. So Mila and Madison, that's going to be your partner. Remember who your partner is. Go ahead and stand up, girls, so you know. Let's come off to the side right here. All right, Nevaeh and Natalie. You guys are going to be partners. So Nevaeh and Natalie, let's stand up. Gia and Jada. You girls are going to be partners. Mia and Lyric. Kyle and Joshua. Grayson and Sebastian. And Jackson and Edward. All right, don't say aw because that's not very nice to your partner, right? We want to be nice to our partners. We want them to think that we want to be with them. All right, shh, listen. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to play this game pretty quickly so we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to say living, and then you need to go to something living as quickly as you can, but we're not running, so you can walk fast, okay? Living, go. With your partner, you have to be with your partner. You have to be standing right next to your partner. I'll give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Get by something living. 1. All right, stop. Okay, I'm gonna call on some partners to tell me what they're standing by and how they know that it is living. Oh, you know what? First, I'll give you about a minute. Talk to your partner. How do you know that that's living? Go.
No, it can't. No, it can't. Because because it could grow. It could also plant water. It needs
Because it's outside. What makes something living?
You find a cockle and bite. It moves.
It moves. Okay. So does everything that lives move?
I have a question.
Yes.
What about trees? Do trees move?
No.
Are trees living? Yeah. The trees aren't living?
Yes.
They are living, right?
Plants are living. And flowers are living.
Flowers are living too. So how do you know when things are living and when they're not? Okay. Okay. Good.
Hey, wake up!
All right. Hopefully that was enough time for you to talk to your partner about why you know what you're standing next to is living. Let's see. Mila and Madison. What are you standing next to? The bugs, okay. How do you know that the bugs are living, Mila? They need air, okay, good. Lyric, what are you standing next to? What did you in the flowers, okay. How do you know that the flowers are living? It needs water and it needs sun, okay, good. Let's see. Jackson and Edward, what are you standing next to?
A flower.
The flower, okay. How do you know that that's living?
Because of it grows.
It grows, okay. So things that are not living, they don't grow?
It needs food.
It needs food, okay. What kind of food does a flower need? Soil, okay. And water, okay. Awesome job. Is anybody standing next to something that is not the flower or the bug? Are we all next to the flower, all next to the bugs?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome job. All right. I'm going to give you
We don't know.
another minute. All right. Non-living. Get to something non-living. Your partner.
Get your
Walk
partner.
quickly.
Get your partner.
Natalie!
No, go with her.
Give you about 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Kyle! Cookies over here!
Oh, no,
I don't have lunchbox. No, we're just... No, we're not
One.
talking much.
0. All right, no more moving. Now I'm going to give you 1 minute. Talk to your partner. How do you know that what you're standing next to is non-living? Go.
Because it doesn't move and it doesn't need water and oxygen and it's made of plastic.
This is non-living because
It
Joshua, you did the same thing as me.
It's not living.
You did the same thing. It's funny.
It doesn't.
Water, oxygen, or food.
Yeah.
So if this is non-living, what are you standing next to, girls? Okay, but I said non-living. So is the flower living or non-living? It's living. Quick, get to something non-living. So are the bugs living or non-living? They're not living. Bugs don't know. They don't hear. Okay. All right. Hands in your head. All right, I'm going to call in some partners. You have to explain what you are next to and how you know it is non-living. Let's see. Edward, what are you and your partner next to? The lunch boxes, okay. How do you know that the lunch boxes are non-living?
Because it can move or it can't grow.
It can't move, okay, and it can't grow, okay. Let's see. Lyric and Mia, what are you next to?
Bugs.
The bugs. So are the bugs living or non-living?
Non-living.
Non-living. How do you know that they're non-living? They don't need water and they don't need food. Okay. All right. Let's see. Nevaeh and Natalie, what are you next to?
The closet.
The closet. Okay. And is it living or non-living?
Non-living.
How do you know?
Because it doesn't need water.
Listen. Oh wait. Madison, clip down Grace's head. All right. So Nevaeh and Natalie are next to the closet, and they said it's non-living because why, girls?
Because it doesn't need water and food.
And it doesn't need water, and it can't have babies, right? Not that it doesn't need babies, but it can't have babies, right? We can't have a baby closet, and we can't have a mommy closet, right? They're just closets. Okay, awesome. All right, we're going to do this one more time. Non-living. This is something else. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and it's something not living. 1. All right, start moving. All right, you have 1 minute to talk to your partner about why it is non-living. Go. What are you standing next to, boys? Well, they're not cockroaches. They're actually beetles. But are they living or non-living? So I said next to something non-living. So what's non-living that you can stand next to? Real quick, go with your partner. What are you guys standing next to? The chair. Is it living or non-living?
Non-living because they're non-living because they don't need to grow, they don't need water, they don't need oxygen, and they don't need food.
Good. So they don't need water, they don't need oxygen, they don't need food.
The table.
The table, okay. Right. Alright, I'm going to call in some friends to share what they are standing next to. Natalie and Nevaeh. What are you girls standing next to?
This iron table.
The iron table in the kitchen, okay. How do you know that that's non-living?
Because it doesn't need water and it doesn't need oxygen.
It doesn't need water, it doesn't need oxygen. Good. Sebastian and Grayson, what are you guys standing next to?
By the computer.
By the computer? How do you know it's non-living?
Because it doesn't even move.
Because it doesn't move. Okay.
And it doesn't talk.
And it doesn't talk. So nothing non-living can move or talk? Are there some living things that you can think of that don't move?
The computer.
But what's something that's living and doesn't move?
The flower.
The flower, right? So can we really say that something is non-living because it can't move? No, right? That doesn't always work, right? Okay. Awesome job, everyone. All right, let's go ahead and go down to the carpet. You guys did great. I'm very proud of you. All right. And let's go ahead and face the smartboard one more time. We're going to take 3 scoots that way.
1, 2, 3. I know.
Baby that has glass.
Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. your pockets on a level 0. All right, so you guys did a really great job. We're gonna go ahead and listen to a story that someone else is gonna read to us on the smartboard. But first, I wanna ask you a question, but I don't want you to answer just yet. Just think in your head right now. What are some things that living things need to survive? Just think in your head. Don't raise your hand. Just think about it as you're watching this, okay? And we'll answer it when we're done listening to the story. All right?
Do you know which ones will grow? By Susan A. Shea. Paintings by Tom Slaughter. If you look around, you'll see some things grow like you and me. Others stay the way they're made until they crack or rust or fade. Do you know which ones will grow? Think, then answer yes or no. If a duckling grows and becomes a duck, can a car grow and become a truck? No? Yeah. If a cub grows and becomes a bear, can a stool grow and become a chair? No? If a kitten grows and becomes a cat, can a cat grow and become a hat? No?
Think about it.
There's got to be a yes in here somewhere. If a kid grows and becomes a goat, can a sweater grow and become a coat?
No.
No? Oh my gosh. If an owlet grows and becomes an owl, can a washcloth grow and become a towel?
No.
Oh. Yes to ducks, bears and owls. No to trucks, chairs and towels. Yes to cats, yes to goats. No to hats and no to coats. If a calf grows and becomes a cow, can a shovel grow and become a plow? If a snakelet grows and becomes a snake, can a cupcake grow and become a cake?
Yes.
No? I thought for sure that was going to be a yes. If a piglet grows and becomes a pig, can a pickup truck grow and become a rig? No. If a kit grows and becomes a fox, can a watch grow and become a clock? No? Oh. Okay, I know the next one's gotta be a yes. If a joey grows and becomes a kangaroo, can a baby grow and become you? Yes! We finally got one. Yes to cows, yes to snakes, no to plows and no to cakes. Yes to pigs, yes to fox, no to rigs and no to clocks. Yes to jumping kangaroo, yes to a living, growing you. The end.
I like that story.
I'm glad. All right. Okay, so before we move on, let's go ahead and face the teacher chair. Let's take 3 scoots back this way.
1, 2, 3.
All right. So, after listening to that story, what do you think? What are some things that living things need to survive? Yes. living things need to grow and change, just like we saw in the book. And there are some, but do non-living things need some things to help them grow and change?
No.
What do you think, Jada? Living things need water. Do non-living things need water? No, right? So, awesome job. So, all right, we're going to look again at our chart that we made earlier about living and non-living things. So let's go ahead and review it. So we talked about how living things, remember before we said living things need food and water to grow and change, but can non-living things grow and change? No, right? Just like we saw in that book, those things can't change. They stay the same. So the chair can't grow and become a bigger chair. It just stays the same, right? And when we were playing that game, we were seeing how the closet can't grow. It doesn't have a mommy closet or a baby closet. It's just a closet, right? So let's go ahead and look at our pictures that we sorted earlier from the pictures on the smartboard. So we said that a bird and a tree and a worm are living things. What do these living things need? Nevaeh, what do these living things need?
They need water,
They need water. What else do they need?
food,
Food, okay.
oxygen,
Oxygen.
and sometimes they get ugly.
And sometimes they can have babies, right? So it's a little bit different with plants. They have something else called offspring with their offspring seeds, right? So that's a little bit different than the animals that can have babies. What about yourself? Are you a living thing or not? Yes, you are a living thing, right? Okay, so let's talk about that. There are some things that are living that can move, but do all things that are living move? No. Can you give me an example, Lyric? A flower, right? So a flower, does a flower move? No. Does it have legs? It can't walk away, right? It can grow, so it can move like that, but it doesn't move on its own, right? Maybe it moves because the wind blows it or it's growing taller, but it can't really move on its own, right? So here are some things that we put in the non-living side. We said a mountain, a plane, a rubber ducky, a volcano, and these things are all non-living because they don't need food, water, or soil, or oxygen to grow. So one of the things that we talked about in our pictures was a picture of a log that was cut down. And this one was kind of tricky. Most of you said that it was non-living, but actually, in science, when something was once living but isn't living anymore, it's still called a living thing. I know that's a little bit tricky. So even though, just like you were saying earlier, Jackson, even though the log is not in the soil, it was cut off, it's still a living thing because it was once living. So anything that has ever lived is still called a living thing. So a log is living, okay? So I'm going to move it to the living side. So now that we know what we know about living and non-living things and what they need, what about water? Is water a living or a non-living thing?
It's living.
Why do you still think it's living?
Because it creates like waves.
Okay. Oh, think about it. What do living things need to survive?
Soil.
They need soil. Okay, so plants, they need soil, and you know that plants are living, right?
And
But what about animals and people? What do they need to survive? They need food, water. So does water need water?
no.
Does water need food? No. Does water need soil?
And
So is water living? No.
It could be.
No, it can't be living because it doesn't need those things. It doesn't need oxygen. It doesn't need food, water, or soil.
And baby.
I don't know
So that one is a little tricky, I know.
It was
All right.
tricky for me.
Go ahead.
I didn't know because it has baby.
All right, I'll wait. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Oh, right before we move on, does anybody have any questions about living and non-living things? Something that you're confused about? Something that you're not sure is living or non-living? Joshua?
Water is not living, but sometimes.
Okay, remember, a question is when you're asking something.
Why is water not living?
Why is water not living? Okay, so remember, water is not living because it doesn't need food, it doesn't need water, it doesn't need soil, and it doesn't grow or change. Okay?
And why doesn't a jet?
And just like a jet, just like a plane, does it need food?
No.
Does it need water?
No.
So is it living?
It can't go on
No,
water.
it's not living. All right, any other questions about living or non-living things? Yes, Jada. Why is a volcano not living? Good question. So think about it. What do living things need?
Soil.
It does need soil.
Water. Does it need water?
No,
Does
because
it
it's a
need
volcano.
food?
No.
No. So think about it. Whenever you're thinking about something,
Fire.
oh wait. Think about living things always. They always need food, water. If they're a plant, they need soil. They might need the sun. So there are things that they need. But do non-living things need those things? No. So that is why a volcano is not a living thing. Yes, Mia? Why is it what?
A donkey.
A donkey is living. A duck? Okay, so this is tricky because it's not like a regular duck. It looks like a duck, but it's actually a plastic rubber ducky. Do any of you have a rubber ducky?
Yes.
Is that rubber ducky that you have, does it need food?
No.
Does it need water?
No.
You might put it in the water, but it doesn't need the water. So
So
that's why the rubber ducky is non-living. Does that make sense? No? You're still confused?
Yes, it makes it
So, do you feed the rubber ducky?
No.
So, then it's non-living. Remember, all living things need food, water, soil, sometimes sun if it's a plant, to grow. Okay? All right. Do you have a question, Kyle, about living, non-living things? What's your question? The worm. Okay. Why is it living? Okay. The worm is living because, why? Do you know why?
Because they need fruit.
Well, they need food, right? They need food to live, and they need oxygen. They need all those things. So that's why it's living. Right. All right. Yes, Edward.
Why doesn't the worm look like can't eat a non-living thing?
So just like Kyle was asking earlier, a living thing, any living thing, so even a worm, it needs food, water to live, and oxygen. Okay? So plants, they always need some soil, the sun, some water, and their food is the soil. Okay? And with animals and people, we need food and water and oxygen. And we can have babies and animals can have babies, right? So that's how we know things are
And
living.
we need medicine.
That too, yes. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get out our science journals, and we're going to write living on one side and non-living on the other side. And I'll write it on the smart board too, so you can see. Okay? We did? I don't think so. All right. And then we're going to color some pictures of living and non-living things. You're going to cut them out as best as you can. You don't have to get right close to the black line. Just go around it, okay? And then you're going to cut them out, glue them where they need to go. Does everybody understand what we're doing?
Yes.
All right. Yes, we're coloring. So what do we do first? Color.
Write your name.
And then cut.
And then cut. And then what?
Put them in a clear box.
And put them in your crayon box, and then what? Glue them. Good.
What the not?
All right. Let's see. I'm looking for some quiet friends to see who's ready to get this paper from the bean table. So you're gonna go back to your seats, get your science journal out, and grab a paper from the bean table. Okay? Let's see. Blue table's ready. And pink table. And purple table. Purple table, I have cut the pictures for you, so all you need to do is color them and glue them into your journal, okay? And green table.
What's the journal?
Madison and Sebastian, I'm going to cut your pictures out so you can go ahead and get started by coloring and cutting. Here, Joshua.
I'm just gonna do
Go pick it up.
What's wrong?
What do we do?
Am I just clapping for myself?
No.
All right, hands on your head. All right, so on your desk, you should have your science journal out. And open it to the next page. Where's your science journal? Open it to the next page, Mia. Open up your science journal, get it out to the next page. All right. Once you have it out, I want you to go ahead and write living on one side, and non-living on the other side. And then you're going to draw a line in the middle. So your pictures that are living, they go under the living side. The pictures that are non-living go on the non-living side. All right, get started. Boys and girls, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to color. So do your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. They can be any color, yes. Make sure you hurry them because
living.
And so we're gonna write living on one side, non-living on the other. Okay, what? Can't what? I just want to help him cut a little bit faster because
Do I have to cut
is that okay?
around it?
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna put living on one side, non-living on the other side. We only have about 3 minutes to color, so we need to write it.
I thought you said one.
So get your pencil out. Pencil. Alright, living on one side, non-living on the other. Hurry, Edward. Alright, I want you to go ahead and start cutting out your pictures. If you're not finished coloring, that's okay. We can do that a little bit later. But go ahead and start cutting them out.
Make sure they're inside of your crayon box.
This is a weird
This rubber ducky. It's like it's a light ducky.
It needs water. Okay, so go ahead. Little dot of blue under the living side. Oh, Mila, you don't need this. You already have pictures. That's okay. Thank you. So go ahead and just start gluing your pictures where they need to go. So how do you know something's living? A frog is living? How do you know a frog is living? It needs to eat. Good. Okay. It needs oxygen. Good. So go ahead and I'll start gluing that. That's okay.
Get your journal out. Get your journal out. Your science journal.
That's okay. That's for me. That's for me. living thing or a non-living thing on a sticky note. So if you are sitting at green table or purple table, you're going to draw a picture of a living thing, okay? Think about what makes something living. What makes something living? Okay? If you are sitting at pink table or blue table, you're going to draw a picture of something non-living. I'm going to give you a sticky note to do that, okay? So I want you to finish with your drawing first, and then go finish with your science journal later. We'll finish it later too if we're not finished, okay? So blue table, are you drawing a picture of a living thing or a non-living thing? A non-living thing, okay? That's okay. We can finish coloring later. So green table, are we coloring some, drawing a picture of something living or non-living?
Living.
Living, okay?
This is living. Picture of a dish or living. These aren't. Oh, living.
Alright, pink table, are we drawing a picture of a living thing or a non-living thing? Non-living thing.
Draw a picture first of a living thing.
I'll help you there. Alright, purple table, are we drawing a picture of a living thing or a non-living thing? A living thing, good.
Draw a picture first, baby. Go ahead and put that away.
I'm going to draw volcano. That's not about tree. It's a tree. It's a tree. Label. Can I get another pencil? This one's not working. Parrot. That's easy. This doesn't work.
Water, good.
Tell me this drawing. These two didn't work.
That's okay. We can draw pictures of the same things. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
What is it? Okay, right. Duck.
Joshua, here, guess what? There's more than one volcano in the world, so you can draw a different volcano. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, pink table, go ahead if you are finished with your sticky note. Go ahead and put it on the paper chart that we did earlier.
Hey.
On the non-living side. So go ahead and put it on the living side. Purple table, you use the restroom, you may go down. If you do not need to use the restroom and you're finished, go ahead and put it on the living side. Blue table, if you are finished with your sticky note, your drawing, that's a non-living thing, you may go ahead Gia, are you finished with your drawing? Oh, you're labeling it? You don't have to label it, but thank you so much. All right, you can go ahead and put it on the next side. Yes. Hands on your head. All right. If you already put your sticky note, your drawing on the anchor chart, go down to the carpet. Go down to the carpet. Blue table, down to the carpet. I know you all put your sticky note on the anchor chart. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Give a little clap, clap. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Give a little snap, snap. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Open them, close them. Put them in your lap, lap. Nice and tall, nice and straight. You're facing me on a level 0. All right, so we've drawn some pictures of living and non-living things. So I'm going to call on some friends to share what they drew a picture of. Jada, what did you draw a picture of? A rock. And is that living or non-living? Non-living. How do you know that it's non-living? It doesn't need water, it doesn't need sun, and it doesn't need food. Okay. Who drew a picture of something living? Grayson.
Parrot.
A parrot. How do you know that a parrot is living?
Because it flies around.
Okay, but does everything living fly around?
No.
No. So what's something that all living things have in common?
They walk.
All living things can walk?
No. Birds can walk.
What about a tree? Is a tree a living thing?
Yes.
Yes. So what are some things that all living things can do? What do they all have in common?
Lay down.
They can all lay down? A flower can lay down?
Yes.
Think about it. What do
I just
living
wanna
things
die.
need, Sebastian? They need water, oxygen, and air. Awesome. So we can tell today the difference between things that are non-living and things that are living by what they need. So remember when we made our anchor chart earlier, we said that living things need water, they need food, they can have babies, and they need oxygen. But non-living things, they do not need water, they do not need food, they do not have babies, and they do not need oxygen. Oh, sorry. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Go ahead